Now let's get into our offense, kind of the fun stuff that goes with these underhooks. Controls are great, but I'm an action wrestler, and we come from an action wrestling type of school where we want to score some points. So when we grab these underhooks, let's look to score. Okay, we're going to start everything with the first offense we're going to do is just simple. Before we get into our leg attacks, some of you older wrestlers or some of you coaches out there watching that don't like to hit your knees as much anymore, this is just a great way of wearing your partner down, hitting the corner and scoring, and just going into our front headlock. Okay, and when I demonstrate this, I'll demonstrate a little bit different ways of getting into that underhook. So just first here, I'm wrestling Mike. I'll just come back with just the old brute snap, dig, underhook here. I snap, I dig here. Now from here in this position, we talked a lot about our push-pull to front head. So now what I'm going to do is I might just show to the leg. Okay, so I'm here wrestling Mike. I dig here. I'm in this position. I'm going to just show to the leg here. Okay, as I'm showing to the leg, Mike reacts by stepping that leg back here. Now from here, my elbow's going to go short. I show, my elbow goes short, and now I'm snapping them here. Right down to the mat. Now when I snap them down to the mat, my hand's back. You notice that my underhook's not deep anymore. My underhook it's all the way out to where my wrist is, and my elbow's back to my side. Okay? My other hand is over the top. Okay? Over the top where I can grab that shin. So from here, I have that underhook. Say I fake here. Now when I go to snap, I'll move kind of backwards so I'm not snapping them into my legs. I'm going to move just out of his way, that backpedaling motion. And now my hand, when it comes over the top, my arm comes over the top, I'm going to think about slamming my shoulder right into the back of Mike's neck right here. Okay? So I'm here in this position. Say this time he puts a hand in my face. Boom! Here. I'm rotating. Here. I can show. When I show here, now watch my arm come straight down here. It moves backwards. Watch. That position. Everything gets sucked back to here. It gets sucked back real short. So my arms are kind of long, and as they come back, it goes whoop, right back to my sides. Because in front headlocks, I don't want to get too deep in my arms. If my arms are deep, then my opponent can grab my elbows, get a stalemate call, or sometimes they're good at their offense where they can dump me to my back. So, in this position here, from a wrist or say an elbow, here, in this position. Okay? I get my head position, I can fake. Boom, short. See how short I am right here. My shoulder is right into his back right here. Now from here, I'm just going to get into just a simple offense to go score. My hand that's around the head is cupping the chin. That's my first control. It's just cupping the chin. When I'm looking to score, I'm going to take that hand from underneath the chin. I'm going to rotate it back over the top of his head. And I'm just going to go into a simple drag right here. This position right here. And I can just go behind him. So from here, this snap, I'm short. I'm going to take this hand from the chin. I dip it down and back. And now I'm replacing this hand with the front head hand. Now from here, I'm just dragging and going behind. Circling behind him. Now I have my position. Or I have my takedown. Okay, from here, maybe I'm moving him around here. Boom, I dig. Okay. See when I digged right there, my head was above. A little bit of a different position. One, I was able to snap with my head in good position. Well, now my head's above him. I don't have to lower my arm down to fake to that leg. I can just stomp. Okay, by just stomping, it's going to make his feet react, and it's going to get me to start my motion. So say I'm here wrestling Mike here, and I have the elbow. I lift here. My head's above. All I'm going to do is stomp. I'm going to take my left leg, stomp. Okay, stomp. Now I come back. I snap here, down to the mat. Okay, notice I'm short. Hands on the chin here. Take my hand back, drag, I'm going behind. Okay. Okay. That's all my right hand. Let's look at our left hand right here. Okay, same type of position of that song. Okay, maybe I go from the elbow, dig here, or just rotating here. See how my hand comes up. Maybe I'm lifting them up. Now from here, I'm going to stomp. Stomp. As I'm snapping, I'm kicking and moving to the backside. Stomp. Here. Move. Same. I got my hand on the chin. My other hand is short. I dip back. I can drag. And look at it come behind. You know, like an older person like me, I start rolling around with these younger guys, getting off my knees on some shots. They get harder to do. For some of you older people that are in jiu-jitsu, you know, the more I can kind of wear these guys down, the easier it's going to be, you know, on myself. Okay, by being able to get to my control of my underhook, snapping them down where guys' heads are underneath my body, and they got to lug all my weight. It's deadly to them, just because it just drains their energy. Now, say I snap Mike, and he stays on his feet. You know, ideal world, I snap him down to his head and knees, and I go. Well, if I'm here wrestling Mike, and I have this underhook here, and I stomp my foot, and I snap him up here, okay, this guy's going to take a lot of abuse right here. Okay, his head is right underneath my chest, right here. Now from here, I can just drag him down to the mat. Okay, now I could bring that hand out and I could drag. But even just having him here in his position, this is just going to be wearing on him. Okay, I'm underhook. You do that a few times, you threaten that a few times, your offensive leg attacks, which is coming up next, is going to be open. You know, one of the most basic leg attacks from this underhook is just going into a single leg from here. This is great whether you're a little guy, you know, or you're a heavyweight wrestler, or you know, a 40-year-old trying to take a person down in a jiu-jitsu class. Okay, so I have an underhook here. Okay, I'm just going to go into a snatch single leg. So a lot of times this comes off of right when you dig that underhook. Okay, I dig that underhook, I create an angle, and now I'm going to throw it by to my single leg. Okay, these are all kind of attacks where I'm not even hitting my knee to the mat still. Like I said, as an older person, I'm protecting my knees, you know, and I'm protecting myself sometimes against these younger guys from getting underneath them. Okay, so being effective with the underhook of these scores into these higher level attacks off the mat, you know, is going to be real beneficial to you. So from here, I dig an underhook, bam! I'm going to make this turn, okay, into this head position right here. Okay, now from here, I'm going to do just a quarter turn. From here, I'm going to step my leg out here, and now I'm going to throw my arm across. As I'm throwing it across, I'm going to reach inside to his leg. So from here, I dig, I take a step from here to the outside, and now I'm facing, my foot is facing across his body. As I'm throwing it by here, I'm reaching down, and I'm just going to snatch this leg into a single leg, right from here. Okay? So from here, say I go from the wrist. Here, I rotate the wrist, I move them here. Okay, I'm in head position, or say my head's above. I'm going to throw it by. Okay, as I move, I'm stepping out, foot's going across. So now I'm perpendicular to Mike here. As I'm throwing it across, I'm going across here, reach, step behind into his leg right here. Okay, so let's break this down a little bit better. When I go to throw, remember before I talked about going up and turning my elbow. Well, now when I go to throw, I'm going to turn my hand up over his arm, and we'll bring it right across his face here. See, what I'm trying to really do is I'm trying to get that arm over. Okay? Here, I lift up, over. And you see how I'm reaching. So you can kind of just practice this where I'm perpendicular to him. I'm here in front, I step to the side, and I step here. I'm reaching, throwing, kicking that leg. I'm here, step, side, throw. Right over the top. I'm like I'm throwing an overhand right. Over. Here. Right into it. Okay? Here, step, perpendicular to him. Throwing. Okay, now let's talk about the mechanics of our hands. Okay? My hand's dropping to the top of his knee. As it's dropping to the top of the knee, I'm throwing that arm over. Okay? Ideally, I get that arm up and over. Okay? A lot of times I could still kind of score from here. So as I throw up and over, I'm stepping here. My arm, my back arm is swinging around to my other hand. And now my leg is stepping behind his leg. Here. Okay? There's a lot of different finishes we could go into from the mid-level. Well, let's make your life easier. When I get to here, I'm going to swing and pop my hips, and I get it up. Now from here, I can work all different finishes to my single leg. Okay? Just a simple one I'll show is just cupping the back of the head and bring it back. So I'm here. Maybe Mike's in position here where he's got head position. I'm above his head. I take a step to the side. Here. Now I'm here. Perpendicular to him. Now I'm going to use my force. I'm going to use everything to help me get to this leg. So as I'm coming here, as I'm throwing it by, my hand is catching. Leg's coming behind. And right here, I'm kind of putting them on a shelf. Okay, you see how that leg came around in the shelf right here? My hands are low. I'm not locked up here around the leg. My hands are low on the calf. Now from here, I just pick them up. Okay. I want to try and be able to really wing them down, like whoa! Taking my hand up over and punching it here. If I could do that, that makes my life and everything a lot easier. Where I dig and punch that to the mat. Where I'm taking them up, over, now I'm here. Boom! Down. Up, over, punching my hand down to the mat. Arm stepping back around. The motion, I dig up, outside, dig, step. Dig, step. And pulling it up. So from here, I'm in front of him, I get that angle. Throw it. Up. When I get that up, keeping my hips in, grab the back of his head, make him kiss his knee. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate backwards and I'm going to triple. Just right down to his back. Okay? Here wrestling, say he's got this position. Digging my elbow. Here. A lot of heavyweights are in here digging like this. You can just reach. Reach. Pulling it up. Okay. A little more sophisticated is throwing that over. Throwing it. Throwing it and moving them. Just moving them makes a big difference. Here. Working them down. So, underhook, throwing it by, snatching a leg, getting your takedown. You know, another one of taking a guy down without hitting my knees yet is hitting a far knee pick. Another good move for bigger guys. And like I said, for little guys too. When you create these angles, you know, guys start to feel you going for this single leg. You know, a lot of times when you dig an underhook, a guy kind of starts to keep that leg back because he's ready for my offense from there of throwing it by. So as I dig here, okay, I'm up here. As I start to move them, I'll move so this leg either steps. If this leg's in front, okay, I got to make a move and step. If I dig it and this leg is back, okay, I can just hit it right from here. Okay, so let's just start from here. I have this underhook. My partner has that leg stepped. Okay, I have head position, or say I even have my head above. Okay? Notice that when I have head position, my grips keep switching. Okay? That's from earlier in the video talking of my different grips. Why? Because when I have head position, I'm gripping that shoulder, I'm raising it up. When he starts to get head position, I'm trying to raise him up. So my grip changes from that shoulder to just above. Now from here, it's even really easy from here because I can see his knee from here. So notice again, I'm perpendicular to Mike. When I dug, I'm straight. I take a side step. Now I'm perpendicular to him. Now all I'm going to do from here is I'm going to drop my left hand down to his knee, and I'm just going to punch and pull here. Run him down to his back. Look to get the pin, but look to get, just a control on him. So when I'm here, I'm wrestling Mike. Here, I dig. Notice that when I dig already, Mike may even, I make this turn here, he's starting to react. See how that leg is forward. Now all I have to do from here is push. I'm punching that arm through, and I'm picking that far knee. Here. Right here. And now from here, I'll just run him over. Work myself out to the outside. And now this happens a lot when, especially from the elbow dig or the drape dig, because when I jack them up, they react by pulling that leg back. When I'm in here wrestling Mike and I go boom, see how Mike reacts. That leg comes back. Notice my feet are turned. To get that angle, all I did was this. See how I twist my feet here. Now from here, it's there. Lower my level, and I'm just going to run them over. Here. Taking them down. Maybe from the wrist, hands here. Here. Okay. So one, I run them down, just like a football player. Boom, run them down. Heavyweights. I'm up here like this. They step in, run. Take them over. Now, when you run them over, as you start getting better, you wrestle more athletic guys. I got to be ready to change my underhook arm from running them over the same way he did with my single leg, of dropping it back down. And then I'm going to drop back down, and I'm going to catch my double leg. Okay? So that was the basic one. Was digging that underhook, throwing it by to that far knee pick, and just running him over. Okay? This one gets a little bit more complicated. But if you're able to do it, it's really effective. Okay? So say I have Mike here, I dig that underhook, I get this angle. I start to throw this underhook by, and I'm catching that far knee pick. Well, as I'm starting to run him over, I want to try to avoid throws, or maybe he's just real good at getting his hips back too on me. Here. So as I'm running him by here, or throwing him over, my back arm's going to drop, and now my legs are going to run into my double leg here. Now from here, I run my knee behind, I clip him, then I'm running him down to his back. So, like kind of without a partner, as I dig, my feet turn, I step here. As I'm throwing them by, here that arm's going to drop, and I catch. So a lot of times as you're throwing it, they start to backpedal on you. So I'm here, say I'm here, and they start to backpedal. I'm reaching across. Slow felt right there. So here, I move them, here, into my double leg, from there. Throwing it by, catch it, catching both those legs. Throw, catch. I'm here, I move, here, and catching. Just being able to run them down and catch. And it'll all happen together. I run down that far knee, as I'm running it, the other arm comes across, and just trapping those legs. As I'm here, I move here, I step, oh. Okay, I'm rotating here. Catching, right to my double leg. Running them over, or running them over catching my double for my takedown. Kind of following off of that far knee pick, a lot of times is a far ankle pick. I prefer to start at the knee, and it might slide down to the ankle, but it all just kind of depends on how they step. When I dig that underhook, if that foot is there, or if I make that turn, okay, I could fall into a far ankle pick, and a lot of times you might finish it as a low single leg. So this is what I mean right here. I dig this underhook, I start making this move here. Now, as I'm starting to move, I make that step. Now from here, a lot of times this ankle pick comes because my head started to shift from this position to above. Now it's almost here where he has head position. Well, if I have this ankle, this control right here, this foot step, I can go right into an ankle pick from here. So right from here, I'm just going to drop to my knee, catching this far ankle. And now if I'm lucky, or if I'm good, see how his legs start to cross up? I can just sit him, okay, right here. Now we got to watch for is guys will start to whizzer and your elbow can get caught up in here. And you got to be ready to lift this ankle up, run him down to his back, or if that ankle drops, get him out to that side to look the snake and pin him to his back. So this ankle pick comes a lot when my head changes to that opposite side right here. I make this turn. So if I start here, I make this turn here. Okay? I start to lower my level. Okay? Notice that my feet aren't here anymore. I'm not shooting this way. My feet change to where my left leg is now forward. Now from here, I have that control. My knee drops here. I'm keeping my arm high. See how my arm is staying high? And I'm hitting this ankle like I am a low single leg, right at that heel. Now from here, as I push him over, try to run it up here. Catch him to his back. Be ideal. Okay? So no matter where I get it from, I bang it, boom, I move them here. See how my level's starting to change already? Okay, here. Got to use my hand to hold me up. My knee's dropping, and I'm driving. Here. Okay, running, knees running up, picking it up, stacking them to get into that position. Okay. Now, the more athletic guys you wrestle, or just the better guys you don't wrestle, they hit that butt. When they hit that hip, you know, they're starting to pop up. So after I throw it over, he hits that butt. I got to be ready. Just like I changed off for my double leg, just like I changed off my single leg, that hand's going to come down, and I'm going to wrap up the legs. Okay, and this is what I mean. From here, just working that turn. I dig. I'm coming to the bicep or wrist. I move them. Now from here, see how my feet get set right away. As I'm moving here. Now from here, I hit. As I'm driving, my top hand is dropping here. My head goes to the knee, and I just wrap into that low double leg position. If you're in freestyle, you go to low ankle laces. You know, most likely tech a guy out of the mat. So I like dropping to that just to avoid my elbow getting caught up in here. So as I start to move him here, what I mean is if I get here like this, you see how I hit him to his hip, you know, he bounces up and here, and I'm just in a tough position, or he wings down on me and my elbow gets caught down here. So as I throw it by, as I already start to feel him dropping, my arm dips back, I wrap up my double leg. Okay? So from here, I dig, I move him here. Boom. Catching. Notice I'm taking that foot off the mat. I'm hooked at the heel and pulling it up right here. I said earlier, sometimes I start at the knee and it slides down. So if I dig here and I move them, sometimes I slide into it. Okay? Throwing it across and catching. Start at that. Sometimes if I'm reaching for that knee, it's too far away, it just slides right down into it. So from here, I move them here. Catching. Catching right here. Looking to go. Those low ankle laces, you guys are out there doing freestyle. Okay? Digging, catching that from the wrist position. I'm here. Right to it. right into my shots. Working that offense for when my head gets shifted to that opposite side, I like to just go into a simple double leg from there, especially when guys are pushing and pulling. Now, there's a penetration double leg, you can do this, and then there's like a duck under double leg, you can do this, and this is what I mean. Working my penetration, I end up in an underhook, I'm wrestling here, bam, maybe I dig in here, but staying with my offense with my right leg lead, I dig here, bam. He digs and gets positioned right here. Now I have an underhook, inside tie position. Okay, on my other side, an inside tie. I'm just reaching over the top and I'm grabbing his tricep from behind here. Okay, I'm revving it, kind of revving like I'm revving a motorcycle. My other side, notice that it's kind of falling off of his top of his shoulder and I'm kind of almost like cupping his scap. Okay, I'm grabbing whatever I can on his back. But the main thing I'm doing is I'm trying to keep my elbow up. As soon as my elbow goes down, okay, it's real tough to do this. So the more I can open them up, the better. So from this position, I'm just going to work into my penetration double leg. Okay, I'm buried in my head position. Okay, I'm just going to raise him up. I'm going to take a step with my back foot. I'm going to do a stomp penetration. So what I mean is this. I'm going to stomp my back foot. I'm going to stop and penetrate. Here. Penetrating here. Boom! Right into my double leg. As I hit that knee here, my trail leg's coming up. I'm wrapped. I'm wrapped around his thighs or his knees, or I can lock my hands, whatever you feel more comfortable with. And I'm just running them down. Like a football player there. Okay? The big thing I gotta worry about is that when I go to my penetration, see this arm? I don't want to get it caught in the underhook. Okay, that's the one thing that's tough about having that underhook inside tie on that far side. It's getting caught in that underhook here on my double leg. So I got to be conscious that when I lift and I go to shoot, my hands, as I'm lifting, my hands are going straight to the legs. So as I dig here, my position's here. I'm raising, stomp, and hitting. As I'm hitting here, okay, this is all about my work and my finishes from here. Trail leg comes up, get my head and chest up, right here, and then working into my takedown. From here, I'm just running across to my double leg. So, my penetration step is here. From here, I raise, stomp, penetrate. As I'm penetrating, I'm pulling them over, arms coming back, hit. Stepping up. Here, I'm maybe pushing into him, he's pushing back, stomp. Lifting him up or running him down. So that's my penetration one, where I'm slamming my shoulder right into his chest. Okay, right into where that pistol Pete is, right on his chest, right there. Okay, here. Okay. Now, the second way I said was kind of a duck step. Okay. This time, I'm thinking about throwing them over the top of me. I'm going to hit kind of that back step. Now, I'm ready hitting a straight penetration shot where I'm going through them. I'm just going to kind of pull them over the top of me. So from here, I dig. Right, and this is really good when I'm pushing into him and he's pushing back into me. The more I feel his pressure, all I'm going to do is lower my level, okay, and I'm going to pull them over the top of me. Here, as I'm lowering, I pull them over the top of me. Okay, so before, I'm stepping and penetrating to them. This time, I'm pushing into them, I'm feeling, I'm just going to lower. Boom, and catch. As I'm in here, I'm pushing into him, and he's feeling back, pushing back into me. I'm just rocking. Here. You know you're doing it proper when I kind of did it right there where I lifted him, threw him over, and right away his feet came off the mat. Okay? And I may hit both knees for a split second, but I'm ready to get up. So as I'm here and I lower, boom, I'm ready to get up. Okay? I'm ducking and then right up to my feet. So I'm digging here. As I'm pushing, he's pushing back. I'm rocking. See, I'm pulling. I'm going right into it. Simple takedown, kind of using his momentum against him. So earlier in that drill, we worked a lot of this, so pushing, he's pushing back as I'm pushing here. I'm working right into my takedown. Another, move from here. We went over a single leg from an underhook, a double leg from the underhook. Let's get into our high crotch from the underhook. I like to shoot this on both sides of the body and a little bit in different ways. One, a little bit of an inside step, high crotch, a little more traditional. And the other one, I like to do it kind of as a duck under, where I'm throwing the arm over. So I'll show the duck under first, where I have this underhook right here, and say I don't have head position or I have head position. Okay, it'll work kind of either way. Okay, so now all I'm doing from here, I have this underhook. Even if he has, say, an overhook. Now what I'm going to do is I have my right leg lead here. I have head position. I'm going to rotate. Okay, as I start to rotate, I'm going to move my knees. Okay, I'm move out of that way where I move my knees, and now I'm going to hit what's called an outside step. So as I'm rotating, my elbow's coming up, my knee's coming down, and my outside foot is going to step here. Okay? Now with that underhook, to get it off, as I'm rotating, I catch my elbow up high. I'm not just throwing it over my head like this. As I'm raising that elbow, that's why I dig, I raise. As I'm starting to go, I'm using my elbow to pull his arm past me here. And now I'm reaching. So without a partner, I'm here, I'm rotating here, right here. Now from there, I can kind of come right up. If I hit it so smooth, I just dip right behind him. Here, in this position. Okay. Kind of fast motion right there, especially when I feel guys push into me. I'm just ducking and going. Here, I got my head position. I might take a step. If you want, you can put this hand down to the mat as you're learning it. Okay, my hand goes down to the mat. Knees coming down. Elbows rotating, and I'm pulling. Here. So I rotate and pull. Now I'm here. That hand's on the inside. Coming up. Chasing them down the far side. Okay. I'm here. Even here. Hands going down, ducking. Catching. Coming up. Or I'm in this position right here. I'm just going to rotate. My head's going out. See how my back turns completely to the camera. Putting that hand down to the mat. Catching. Now from here, look to come up, chase the body down, or I can change off to a leg, change off into my double leg. Real kind of slick, real kind of fast duck under from that underhook. Here, wrestling, slip. Skipping off that knee. Zip, and back up. That's all it is. That's all the step is. Right to it. Okay. I'm moving. Okay, that's one. One is that duck under step. Two, I do from my other side. Here. Now I'm in this position. Underhook, collar tie. My head's buried in here. I'm going to raise, and now I'm going to penetrate. Raise, penetrate now. Okay, as opposed to a duck under where I'm pulling them, I'm penetrating now. Penetrate. Covering distance going forward. So I'm here wrestling, I dig. Here. Now I'm going. Penetrating. Shooting, grabbing a leg, looking to change off. Here. Raise, shooting, coming up, coming across into my attacks. Again, come here. Maybe I'm wrestling, I roll that wrist, here, head goes back, right into there. Now let's tie all that offense in. So the thing about the underhook is that, you know, it's chain wrestling. And I talk about this in a lot of other videos, is that, you know, not just making something one grab, one move. You know, the tie-ups, the moves, they all lead, you know, into a different skill or a different takedown. So that's why we call it chain wrestling, like a chain link. Okay, you know, you got one link, connects to another link, connects to another link. It drags it all out. So using these moves into my chain wrestling. So if I dig an underhook, okay, I might dig an underhook here. In my first line, or the first move I showed you was just a snap front head. So when I grabbed this underhook, I snapped and I covered here. Okay, well, I didn't get him down to his feet, so now he's working to come up. Well, when he works to come up, I let that head pop. I could go into my duck under high crotch from here. Here. Okay, so maybe I'm here wrestling Mike. I rotate that wrist. I'm here. Boom, I snap. I'm trying to get him down. He's coming up. Boom. I chain wrestle into the next move. Same thing with here. I'm wrestling that underhook. I stomp that foot. I cover. Ha! He's working up. Boom. I let go. Into my shot. Okay. Say I rotate him all the way down to the mat. He hits his knees and he pops up. I'm wrestling Mike here. I snap. I drag him down to the mat. He's coming up. Penetrating into my shot. So those are chain wrestling off a front headlock from my underhook. Okay. I'm here. I rotate. I'm into my high crotch. Creating action, creating movement. Same thing of going into offense. I don't get my offense, it might lead into my front headlock where, say I dig this underhook and I look to throw him by. Well, he moves off that throw by, but when he moves off, his hips come back. It's a great time for me to snap him down. Meaning here, I dig this underhook, I look to throw him by, he misses. Now from here, boom, catching that front head, coming off that chin, looking to drag and come behind. Get my points, get my takedowns. You know, and you just keep evolving. This is where, you know, imagination steps in. You know, and this is what also makes wrestling fun. This is what always made wrestling fun for me, was that it wasn't just like, you know, boring or tedious. You know, it's just like, come on, like, I don't even want to be known as that as a wrestler. Like when I go out to wrestle, I don't want to even be, I want, when I go to wrestle, I want fans to be ready, you know, to see takedowns, to see action. That's what we want, you know, our guys at Oklahoma State to be. Is guys that are going out there that you're excited to watch wrestle because they're on look for offense, they're on look to score. Okay? So imagination comes in here where it's not just grab and go. Okay? It's chain wrestling type of action. And what I mean, again, I dig this underhook, maybe I snap, I fake it, snap, I come back. Here. As I'm moving them here, I rotate that wrist, fake snap. Changing them off. I'm big, I throw by, he cracks. You know, I dig an underhook, I snapped him. He came up, I hit a high crotch. You know, I fake a high crotch, I cover front head. He came off, I chased down another shot. Those chain wrestling actions, you know, is what separates you from the rest of the pack. Okay, so, you know, the pack of wrestlers that can do one thing and one thing great, it's good, but you gotta, and you can be real successful with that. You know, but being able to separate yourself as a wrestler where you can score in all positions, in all different types of positions, you know, that's what makes you become an All-American, or the All-American to a national champ, or the national champ to a world or Olympian. You know, if you watch World and Olympics in the highest level of wrestling, it's not simple takedowns. It's action after action after action. And if one finish doesn't work, then they go into another finish, and it's just continuous, chain wrestling and action. So with this offense, with all this kind of work that we did into our leg attacks, get creative with it. Move them off that underhook into a front head, hit them into a shot, fake a shot, end up in a front head. And if you're able to do that, your footwork's going to get better, your conditioning gets better, and guys have a lot harder time wrestling you.